Hello, this is wmpyr. For today's lesson, we're going to be working with the tomahawk. Okay, so first things first, please keep in mind I am not a tomahawk expert. All I'm going to be doing is applying my eskrima skills onto this guy. And make sure that it's safe, nice and safe, made for training. In this case, I'm using a live one. This is a real one, but I keep the cover on. But please, that may not be good enough. So make sure you have eye protection and all that other stuff. Safety is always most important. First of all, there's a bunch of different types of tomahawks and a bunch of different types of hatchets, axes, and similar type weapons of various weights, okay? So you may not be able to do something like that. It just might be too heavy. So if this is too heavy, then it's going to be too tall of an order to be using it just like an eskrima stick. So, like I said, for me, my style of eskrima, what's important is improvised weapons training. So that includes tomahawk and axes that are going to be heavier than this one. Alright, so the first thing that I recommend is to imagine that this guy is a lot heavier than it really is. You could be using a regular eskrima stick and pretend that it's a tomahawk, but once again, imagine that it's a lot heavier than it really is. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Is when we're going through the basic angles of attack, 1, 2, 3, 4, you see I'm making the motions larger and exaggerated, okay, and putting my body behind it like this as if it were very, very heavy. So, ish, ish, and I could even do ish. I could even put circular motions in there, but I'm still imagining that it is heavy. Shh. And now this is not out of my league. I'm not doing stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? The motions are a lot bigger. See, that's different from in aerobic kickboxing. People have weights in their hands. That's to make the workout harder. So essentially, you're doing the same thing here, and this can wear you out. And in combat, that could be a bad idea. And that's why, even if I can wield it more like an eskrima stick, boom, 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 much faster and stuff, that may not be, once again, in my best interest. Alright, so once again, imagine that your tomahawk is a lot heavier than it really is, and make your motions larger, and go with the weight, and you could fortify your arm like so, boom, 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 okay? But at the same time, it's also very important because imagining can only take you so far. So you want to have actual experience with something that is actually a lot heavier, and you want to know what that actually feels like for real. Alright, so strategically speaking, if we're making big motions like this, it's going to make it easier for the other guy to time their attacks, defenses, and counters against you. So we're going to have to mix it up. Alright, just like in the same idea as boxing, we want to use faster strikes mixed in with the heavier, more powerful shots. So how do we do that? Well, one of the ways is to choke up on the tomahawk, and once we choke up right here, things become a lot faster. So now you can see that I could do jab-like attacks like this without taxing as much energy. So if you choke up on it, you get more control but less leverage, which means basically less power. So what we're going to be doing here is from here, now you see this is going to be a lot easier for you to control, much easier to be faster, and then from here we have to mix in boom, 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 with the bigger shots. And if you see now the tomahawk, I'm holding it way down here, and then as I'm making these bigger shots, boom, 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 now I can come back to these quicker shots. So in order to practice grip management, let's go back to the basic 5 angles of attack. Alright, so right now, hold the tomahawk down here where there's plenty of leverage, okay, and then we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. By the time you get to 5, now I'm choked up on it. So from here, from down here, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And by the time I get to 5, see, I'm all the way back down here. So what you're doing here is as you strike, you are changing your grip essentially from here to here. This is grip management, all right? So I'm basically just changing, walking my grip down to where I go from here to here and back, from here to here, as I'm striking. So I'm not wasting any time. Last but not least, once again, I have to say that just practicing that alone isn't enough. You need to actually hit a target while doing that, so you know that you're not changing grips at the wrong time and your grip is weak, and then you strike and you're losing power, or it might compromise your grip. Okay, so you need to actually make contact. All right, so the first thing is to practice the form like I showed you, the angles of attack. So as you're doing the angles of attack, work on switching, changing your grip, walking your grip down. Okay, so work on that. But then once you've done that many times, then don't forget to actually try it on real targets, okay, on real contact, and you have to know what that feels like. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and take care, folks.